My name is Iris Calline, and I just turned 18. At my birthday party last night, my dad pulled me aside and whispered, "When this is over, you're going to sign some papers for Uncle Wade." Just a formality. I smiled, I nodded. Then I walked into the kitchen, opened my laptop, and quietly confirmed that my entire multi-million-dollar inheritance, the cabin, the savings, the investments, was already locked behind a legal wall no one in that house could touch. The next morning, my parents found out. My uncle, who had already signed a deal to sell property he never owned, called a lawyer. But to understand how we got here, I have to take you back 6 years. The summer I turned 12, my grandfather Harold picks me up in his truck and drives 40 minutes to Cedar Lake. The cabin sits back from the water, surrounded by white pines so tall they block the afternoon sun. The porch sags on one side. The screen door doesn't latch right. It smells like wood smoke and old books and something sweet I could never quite name. "Grab the other end," he says, lifting a fence rail. We spend the morning replacing rotted posts along the south side. He doesn't rush me. He shows me how to check for soft spots by pressing my thumb into the grain. If it gives, it's done. Inside, my grandmother Vivian has iced tea and sandwiches on the kitchen table, the one Grandpa built himself the year they married. She's reading on the porch and she pats the chair beside her. We sit and watch the lake until the light turns gold. "This cabin stays in the family, Iris *, he tells me that evening. But family isn't always blood. Family is whoever shows up. I'm 12, I think he's being poetic. He isn't. That whole summer, I come back every weekend. I learn where the water heater leaks, which window sticks, how to bleed the radiator. My grandfather shows me the property line markers, old iron stakes he hammered in himself. I don't know then that he's already talking to a lawyer about exactly this place, about exactly me. Back home, the air is different. At dinner one night, my dad Greg brings up the cabin. "That place is just sitting there losing value *, he says, cutting his steak. "Property taxes alone are killing us. We should sell it, reinvest." My mom nods. "Makes sense. Grandpa said the cabin stays in the family," I say. Greg laughs, not a mean laugh. Worse, a dismissive one. "You were 12, Iris. He was being nice. No one asks me anything else." The conversation moves on. Later, clearing the plates, I find a glossy flyer on the counter, half hidden under a grocery list. A development company, lakefront lots, premium prices. A handwritten phone number in the margin. I put the flyer back exactly where I found it. Upstairs, I sit on my bed and think about my grandmother's kitchen table. The one where she sets my sandwich without asking because she already knows. And I think about that flyer downstairs and how someone is already measuring my grandparents' home in dollar signs. Grandpa Harold dies 2 years later. At the reception, I notice my dad and his brother Wade standing by the dessert table, not eating, talking low. Wade has a folder tucked under his arm. I catch one sentence, "We should move on this before probate gets complicated." They're talking about the cabin. At the funeral, I say nothing, I'm 14. I have no power, no voice, and no idea that my grandfather has already accounted for this exact moment. 2 more years pass. My grandmother Vivian gets sick in March and is gone by June. She holds my hand the last time I visit, her grip surprisingly firm. "The cabin is yours, Iris. Don't let them take it. Promise me." "I promise, Grandma." She squeezes once and closes her eyes. After the funeral, I'm standing in the hallway when I hear my dad on the phone in the garage, voice lighter than it's been in weeks. "Yeah. Let's get it moving." I realize something that settles in my chest like a stone. My grandmother's death isn't a loss to them. It's a clearance. I don't cry that night. I make a different kind of decision. I just don't know how to act on it yet. Between 16 and almost 18, the cabin becomes my quiet rebellion. Every Saturday morning, I drive out to Cedar Lake alone. I patch the porch screen. I replace the weather stripping on the back door. I sweep pine needles off the roof, because Grandpa taught me that's how leaks start. At home, the cabin stops being Grandpa's place and starts being the family property. My dad says this at dinner like it's always been true. I try once. What about Grandma's wish? She wanted me to keep it. My mom puts down her fork gently. Your grandma was emotional at the end, sweetheart. This is business. Business. That's the word they use for everything that used to be love. By 17, my dad starts being more direct. When you turn 18, we'll figure this out as a family. The way he says family, I already know it means my way. One afternoon alone at the cabin. I'm clearing the hall closet when I find a sealed envelope behind a stack of old quilts. My grandmother's handwriting on the front, my name, inside a single business card, an attorney, and below her name in small print, Colleen Family Trust. My hands shake, not from fear. From recognition. Grandma left this here for me to find. She knew I'd be the one cleaning out closets. Not my dad, not my uncle, me. I slip the card into my wallet. I don't call, not yet. 3 months before my 18th birthday, the attorney calls me first. Iris, this is Margaret Harlow. I was your grandparents' attorney. I need to speak with you before your birthday. There are things you need to know, and there isn't much time. I meet her the following Saturday. She's silver-haired, steady, precise. She opens a folder and slides a document across the desk. Your grandparents established an irrevocable trust 6 years ago. The cabin, a savings account, an investment portfolio. Total value, approximately $2.1 million, all of it held in trust. You are the sole beneficiary. The room tilts slightly. Your father and uncle have no legal claim. The title to the cabin was recorded under the trust at the county recorder's office 6 years ago. It never entered the estate. It never went through probate. Why didn't they tell my dad? Margaret pauses. Your grandfather said, and these are his exact words, my sons will sell that cabin before the funeral flowers wilt. The room goes quiet. There's something else, she says. Someone has been making inquiries at the recorder's office about the cabin's title. Within the last month. I start paying attention after that. The next Sunday, my Uncle Wade comes for dinner. Afterward, he and my dad disappear into the garage. The door is open a crack. I already signed the purchase agreement, Wade says, $450, but we need the title clean before closing. How do we get it clean? Quitclaim deed, my dad says. Dad's gone, mom's gone. We're the legal heirs. We record it and sell. A pause. Then what about Iris? Wade's answer comes fast. She's 17, Greg. She can't do anything. And by the time she's 18, the sale's done. She'll be upset. She'll get over it. We'll give her a cut, 50 grand for college. She should be grateful. I step back from the door. My hands are cold. Wade has already signed a purchase agreement, $450,000, for a cabin he doesn't own. On land held in a trust he doesn't know exists. That night, I text Margaret 2 words, they're accelerating. Her reply comes in 3 minutes. I expected that. Come see me Saturday. We'll prepare everything. Saturday, Margaret's office. She lays out the timeline like a battle plan. The cabin title is already under the trust. If Wade files a quitclaim deed, the county recorder should reject it. The chain of title won't match. The property hasn't been in your grandparents' personal names for 6 years. But, asterisk, she adds, if he submits additional documents, an affidavit of heirship. Supporting paperwork, he could create what's called a cloud on title. It won't give him ownership, but it could tie the property up in litigation for a year or more. So I have to act first. You have to act on time. She taps the calendar. The moment you turn 18, you can formally accept your role as successor beneficiary. Once you sign, I file a lease pendens, a public notice of legal interest, at the recorder's office first thing the next morning. That freezes the title. No one can record anything against it. Should I tell my parents? She takes off her glasses. Your grandfather asked me to protect you, Iris, not negotiate with them. I drive home. My dad is in the kitchen, cheerful. Good news, kiddo, I'm throwing you a birthday party. Whole family, Saturday night. It's a big one, 18. He smiles. My mom smiles. Even my sister claps. I smile too. My dad is planning my birthday party. My uncle is planning to sell my grandmother's cabin. And I am sitting at the kitchen table smiling. Because in 9 days, I am going to let them think everything is going exactly according to their schedule. 5 days before my birthday, my mom sits next to me on the couch. Now that you're almost 18, she says, soft and rehearsed, there are some family decisions we should make together. The cabin costs money to maintain. Taxes, insurance, repairs. If we sell, we could pay off debt and set up a college fund. For you and your sister. Both of you, Grandma wanted me to keep it. A flash of impatience quickly smoothed over. Your grandma was sentimental, Iris, but sentiment doesn't pay property taxes. My dad walks in right on cue. I've already talked to a buyer. Good price, fair deal. Who's the buyer? A pause. A development company. Wade knows them. I don't push further, I'll think about it. He pats my shoulder. That's my girl. Walks away satisfied. That night my little sister knocks on my door. She sits on the edge of my bed and says, Mom and Dad keep talking about the cabin after I'm supposed to be asleep. They sound different. Like they're excited, but also nervous. Is something going on? I pull the blanket over her feet. Don't worry about it. She nods, but she doesn't look convinced. 3 days before my birthday, Uncle Wade shows up unannounced. He catches me in the driveway. Casual clothes, big smile, leaning against his car like he just happened to be in the neighborhood. Wade is a real estate agent. Nothing he does is accidental. We sit on the front steps. That lake lot asterisk, he says, asterisk just the land alone is worth $450. Fast, close, clean paperwork. And what do I get? $50,000 cash. For college, I let the number sit in the air. 50 out of 450. Wade smiles like I've said something adorable. You're 18, Iris. 50 grand is a lot of money for someone your age. Whose name is on the deed? Uncle Wade. The smile freezes, just for a second. A flicker behind the eyes, then it's back. Your grandparents. But they're gone now. Passes to your dad and me as next of kin. That's not how it works. I know it. He should know it. He sells houses for a living, but he's counting on me not knowing. I'll think about it, I say. Wade stands, brushes off his jeans. Don't overthink this one. Opportunities don't wait. He drives away. Before he's even at the end of the street, he's already on the phone. I can see his mouth moving through the driver's window. That night I text Margaret again. They're accelerating. She replies, stay the course. 3 more days. The night before my birthday, I drive to the cabin alone. Cedar Lake sits flat and dark under a half moon. The pines along the bank look like cutouts against the sky. I park in the gravel patch Grandpa leveled himself. Walk up the porch steps, the second one still creaks, and sit in the chair next to the one that used to be his. The air smells like rain and pine resin. I open my laptop. Margaret has sent the full document package, the acceptance of successor beneficiary form, everything formatted, tabbed, ready for my signature. At midnight, I read each document twice. Then I closed the laptop and listened to the lake. Grandpa used to sit right here and say, patience isn't weakness, Iris. It's timing. I always thought he was talking about fishing. The tears come without warning. Not a collapse, just a quiet overflow I let happen. I cry because I wish this were different. I wish my dad had been the kind of man who would have taken me to this lake instead of calculating its resale value. I wish my mom had asked me what I wanted instead of telling me what's practical. I wish I didn't have to sign a legal document at midnight to protect myself from the people who are supposed to protect me. But wishes don't hold up in court. Trust documents do. 11:50 p.m. My bedroom, the house is silent. I open my laptop and connect to the video call. Margaret appears, glasses on, desk lamp lit. Ready, ready. When the clock hits midnight, I am a legal adult in every sense that matters. She walks me through the signing. 1 page, my name in ink. My grandparents' names in print above mine. First thing tomorrow morning, she says, I file the lease pendens at the county recorder's office. Once it's recorded, no one can sell, transfer, or encumber that title while it's active. What if they've already filed something? Then whatever they filed will be flagged. The chain of title shows the trust recorded 6 years ago. Any conflicting document gets kicked back. Her voice softens just slightly. This isn't a trick, Iris. This is your grandfather's last gift. You just had to be old enough to accept it. The clock reads 12:03 a.m. I'm 18. I'm the legal beneficiary of the Calline family irrevocable trust. And downstairs in a garage across town, my uncle's quitclaim deed is already worthless. He'll find that out in about 9 hours. My birthday party is lovely. Balloons, a cake with my name on it. My dad gives a toast. My uncle claps me on the shoulder. My mom cries a little in that proud way she saves for occasions. Near the end of the night, my dad pulls me aside. When this is over, you're going to sign some papers for Uncle Wade. Just a formality. Of course, I say. I smile. I walk back to the party. I eat another piece of cake. The next morning, the calls to Margaret begin. Then the calls to me. Then the silence, the specific kind that comes when someone realizes the floor they were standing on was never theirs. My dad turns white when she explains the trust. My uncle, I'm told, called 3 lawyers in 2 hours. The development deal collapses. The quitclaim deed is flagged and rejected. The lease pendens is on record. Grandpa was right about everything. Family isn't always blood, Iris. Family is whoever shows up. He showed up 6 years ago in a lawyer's office with my name on the second line of a document before I even knew I needed him to. The cabin is mine. The lake is mine. The table he built with his hands, the chair where he taught me patience, the porch that sags on one side and smells like wood smoke and pine, all of it is mine. And the deed says so.